I won't be able to Sunday because it's James's dad's service at the church,
Yeah.
and I think people are going out drinking after.
Okay, that's
So,
fine. All right, here we go. Three,
yep.
2. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Nothing But Reds, the podcast where we discuss nothing but Liverpool FC from the American viewpoint. And join with me finally again, Stephen Norbury. What's been happening, man?
What's going on? I'm back.
What you been up
I'm
to?
back. I'm ready to do this. Same old stuff, just living life. Getting excited for the first game of the season coming up on Sunday. How about you?
Same, man, Sam. I just been watching this preseason, like just getting pumped. I mean, the team really looks good. It really looks like we're picking up where we left off last season.
Absolutely. Um, I know once we got Alisson, the odds for betting changed, so we are now considered second, the second favorite to win the league, which I think we were, in my opinion, we should have been before. I'm not sure if we were second or third before, but anyways, um, I think it's not just Liverpool fans that are getting excited. I think it's football fans around the world that know that this is a special team, and if we can stay healthy and we can put it all together, it might not be Manchester City hoisting the trophy at the end of the season. So that's really exciting.
No, I completely agree. I mean, if you were to look at the table now, you got to say it's City and Liverpool at the top. I mean, there's I guess you could make an argument for maybe Tottenham, maybe Arsenal because they got the new coach in. They got rid of Wenger. But I mean Chelsea. What the hell is Chelsea doing? Chelsea just looks like they're falling the fuck apart.
Yeah, Chelsea and United are in shambles right now. Now they'll probably be real solid this year, and teams will struggle against them, and I'm sure they'll get plenty of wins. But um, I don't think Chelsea has the depth or the chemistry or cohesiveness that it takes. I think Arsenal's going to take some time for them to get going because you said they have a new manager. United's going to struggle because their manager is just a total clown, and they haven't made as many moves as they have in years past. So I don't know exactly if they're going to be any better than they were last year. And Tottenham will be solid. They haven't made. I don't think they've made a single move,
Nah.
but they'll be solid because they always are. So
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring up the fucking bum that is Jose Mourinho. I mean, what the does it not share a striking resemblance to when he was just about to get fired from Chelsea? How he was talking shit about his players, talking how he wasn't getting the support he needed from the owners, from the board. I mean, you think he's on his way out? I think he's trying to get fired. That's just my opinion.
um, no, I think he's just greasing the gears in case they do have a poor season or in case they don't finish anywhere near the top. He can say, "I told you so." Um,
What the hell
you
kind of
know,
management is that though? What kind of management style is that? Playing
well,
it
he's won it
safe.
all. He doesn't care. That's the thing. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
care.
yeah. I
He's
don't know.
perfect for Manchester United, though. He's
Yeah, yeah, and
that's can't. I don't know.
it just seems like Man United are struggling to find the direction they need to go in ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left. I mean, they really haven't found a manager that really fits their style of play. And I think that's the exact thing that Liverpool have found. They found Jurgen Klopp at the perfect time. And I talked on a podcast yesterday, just me, but I mean, Liverpool have done exactly what you're supposed to do in terms of building a successful franchise. I mean,
Yes.
you get the proper manager in and you let the manager do what he believes he needs to do to win football games. You don't let the
Mm-hmm.
owners take reins of the football team because they're in it for the money. They're not in it for the success. They don't have that fan's heart, right? Whereas Jurgen Klopp is a fan of the game and a fan of good football to the death of him. I mean, he understands what it takes to win, and I think nothing's more apparent than the fact that we bought and spent more money this summer after having made it to the Champions League final than any other summer beforehand. I mean, most managers would have said, "Hey, look, I mean, look at Madrid. Ronaldo left, right? I mean, but that's kind of an isolated situation, but like we were so bare in midfield and so bad at the I wouldn't say bad at the back, but needed that goalkeeper boost. Klopp was like, "Fuck it, we're dropping stacks this summer." Right,
Yeah.
and he doesn't care. He forgot what he said in 2016 because I remember reading that quote. Remember reading him saying like, "We can't spend all the money like the big teams." And when he started spending the money, that thought didn't even cross my mind. I really didn't think he was spending a lot of money because, really, aside from Allison, who the hell else has been expensive? I mean,
Well,
62.
people forget Cato's from last year. That's not this summer.
Well,
He
exactly,
came in this
exactly.
summer, but Fabinho,
But
Shaqiri's a bargain. Fabinho, moderately priced, nothing crazy. And Alisson, obviously they broke the bank for him, but that's where the goalkeeper prices are at now. Just like quarterbacks in football, it constantly goes up. Somebody has to break the record. Somebody has to set the new standard. And that's the direction goalkeepers are going. Um, so Alisson was expensive, yes, but he's young and he's proven. Same thing with Fabinho; they're proven players.
now
You know,
let me just play devil's advocate here, right? Because I completely agree with you, but I know that there's going to be that person out there who doesn't. So you look at a player and you say Alisson is tried and tested and true. He was at Roma for 2 years and he had one breakout season. Before that, where the hell was he? Where like Las Palmas or something? I really have no idea where he was before.
right?
But I mean, it's not like he's a Courtois, right? Or a Hugo Lloris or uh, Casillas or a Buffon. Like I mean, he had
That's what
one.
they're saying though. They're saying that he is that good.
And obviously as a fan I gotta have faith in him, but there's always that side of me that just doesn't want to get my hopes up. But and then Fabinho, he had a great year in 16-17 when they won Ligue 1 or whatever, however you say it, Ligue 1.
Yep.
um
Yep.
but I don't know, and I've been watching all the preseason games, and I just, maybe it's the same thing as Henderson, because when I watch Henderson, I don't really notice all the little things he does, and maybe it's the same for Fabinho because my opinion of his preseason is he hasn't really done much. But maybe it's the same thing as Henderson because they do play the same position. But
Yeah. You'll
yeah,
see. He'll come together.
yeah, I'm kind of getting off track
He's
with that, but um, and so the game just finished up here in the States a couple hours ago, and I was at work, so I didn't get to watch it live or anything. But
actually. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, um,
Torino.
Torino, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you watched the highlights. What did you think? So some things that really stood out to you aside from the goals.
We're just on a whole nother level than they are. Faster, better, smarter, better in better condition. It's like I think it was a good. I think that was our last game, right?
Right, yeah,
Before the
last
season.
preseason game.
Yeah, it was a good. I mean, the team we played isn't horrible, but it was a nice last little warm up. Nobody got hurt. All the big names got some good run out there. Um, nothing, nothing in particular that I saw from the clips I watched
Yeah,
um, at all. Really, I'm ready to get going with the season.
yeah, me too, me too. I literally can't wait to just start watching Premier League games again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Daniel
just
Sturridge did score again though today.
I
A
know,
nice
I know.
little header.
So
Made
six.
it look so easy.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 6 goals, 2 assists in preseason,
I
and
believe that's right.
if
Yeah.
you take the fact that in like 3 or 4 of those games he was playing one half,
Yeah.
that's an incredible stat line. But you also got, that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of, I guess it's kind of a give and take because it is preseason. We're playing some scrubs,
Right.
but
Right.
I
He's
mean
not getting a lot of shots either. He's just scoring. He's literally just capitalizing on his chances.
that's
It's not
what.
like he's getting the ball all game and just ripping shots. Like when he gets a chance, it's just dead accurate every time.
And isn't that why we love him though? Because I mean,
It is.
we've had strikers that put shots on goal, but they don't make it. Look at Benteke. I mean, not only did Benteke not fit Klopp's style, but he would put shots on goal and just miss, or they'd be saved. Whereas Sturridge, if he gets a touch in the box, that you can almost bank on that ball going in.
Yeah. At least it's towards the corners of the box
Yeah, I mean
of the goal.
he
Excuse me.
yeah, he's just clinical. He's clinical, and another player that I really think is special is Keita. I mean, Keita, and I know you like Shaqiri. I know
Yep.
I don't, you talk about Shaqiri, like what is it about him? Like why? I mean, I understand the hype, but what is it to you that I mean, you've just jumped on this Shaqiri not bandwagon, but
Oh
just
yeah.
jumped on this
I think I
Shaqiri train.
I think I've said it in past or previous podcasts that there's been times where I've watched him play against Liverpool and I'm thinking to myself, he is the best player on that team. He's very tough to guard. His center of gravity is low. He's very strong. Obviously, you can tell by looking at him. He can dribble. He can pass. He's unselfish and he works hard. And that's hard to do when you play for a team as bad as Stoke. But he's been their best player. There's no doubt about it. And when you plug him into a system where he's not even top five, not even close to a top, maybe not even top 10 player on the team. From the clips I've seen and the game film that I've watched of him, he just looks comfortable. He looks free, and there's no doubt on his day he can be world class. Some of the shots I mean, the bicycle kick, like come on. He
Yeah.
he was in the game for like 7 minutes in a new uniform, like ridiculous.
You can't write that. You can't write that
No, and if
stuff.
you go, just can go on YouTube and watch highlights. Some of his goals have just been just absolutely retarded.
He's unbelievable. He's
he's
unbelievable.
gonna he's gonna score some goals this year that people are gonna be like, oh my god.
I,
But he'll also have those games where you're like, well, where was Shaqiri? Because I think that's how he is. He's not consistent enough, but I think you plug him into a better side, which is what Liverpool is, and he's gonna succeed. There's no doubt about it.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Talk about that. I mean, because that's what we were talking before the podcast. I mean,
There's no pressure on him anymore.
right,
He
right,
doesn't have to shoulder the load. That's what Henderson will do. That's what Keita will do. That's what the front three will do because they have the ball so much. That's what Virgil van Dijk will do. Alisson. These guys are a lot of them are leaders and they're world class players. You know,
right.
Shaqiri doesn't have to be the guy anymore. He doesn't. He can just he can just play his role, take his chances when he gets them, and he can pass it to the next guy and not worry about I shouldn't have gave it to that guy. That guy's going to lose the ball. He can pass the ball to his right, and it's going to Firmino. He can pass the ball back, and it's going to Keita. He can pass the ball forward, and it's going to Salah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any direction he passes the ball, it's going to a player that's probably better than him. So I think that's really comforting, knowing he doesn't have to shoulder the load, and there's more mouths to feed, so there's just less pressure on the team.
Yeah, I think in looking at it now, I think you're right. I think I guess I'm just trying to compare it like someone should tell Shakiri to call Mello because you know how Mello is like still thinks he's the shit and he's on
Mm-hmm.
a better team. It's like, nah, dog, you really need to like relax and just like stop trying to
Yeah,
be the man because you're trash. You're trash
yeah,
now.
you're not the man,
No, you're
and it's
not.
okay to not be the man.
Right, exactly. And it's good that
In
Shakiri
basketball,
gets
though, it
that.
sticks out a little more.
Well, of course, yeah. You only got five guys on the floor, but I mean, God. Anyways, oh yeah, and they're also. You think? Let me ask you. You think the Knicks should retire Melo's number?
Absolutely not.
Really? Because all the Knicks fans think that they should.
No. How long was he there? 6 years?
6 or 7, yeah.
No, that's no. He didn't win anything. You
No, you're
guys
right.
ever go to the playoffs?
Twice, once or twice.
I'm gonna go ahead and say probably once.
Yeah, I think once is a
But
safe bet. Sidetrack. I just had to ask
no,
you. I just had to ask. Yeah,
no, I wouldn't. He's not a leader. He's not a winner. He's none of that. Just a scorer.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. That's all he is. I agree. Yeah, definite Hall of Famer though. But so let me ask you another question because I'm excited about this. Joe Gomez next to Van Dyke.
I think at this point it's got to be Lovren to start. Has to be.
Well,
Played well in the World Cup. He also played really shitty at times in the World Cup, but I think he's earned it. I think he's earned that spot at least in the beginning, and maybe it changes, but I think it's going to be Lovren to start. However, Joe Gomez next to Van Dyke, I kind of like that.
I
I
do.
don't know how
I
it would
do.
be. We'd have to see, but I really like Joe Gomez. I think he works really hard.
That's what I'm saying, man. And he's quick, he's athletic, he's agile. He kind of reminds me of a younger Van Dyke, a smaller Van Dyke. I mean, Gomez is only like 6'2", but I mean, you look at the player Van Dyke is because and Gomez, and then you compare him to like Lovren and Clavin. It's literally like the two most least athletic players I've ever seen in my entire life. And
Well,
well, Lovren
yeah,
can jump. Lovren can jump. But I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like you don't see
yeah,
Lovren making runs forward. Even Matip is pretty athletic. So,
yeah.
which
We
it
got some good depth at center back,
yeah,
and we didn't even sign one, which is kind of funny,
I know.
ironic.
Yep, very ironic because that's where we people were saying we needed it the most. But then Gomez is kind of I feel like Gomez has really silenced the haters. And also something I did notice. So this kind of transition into another thing I want to talk about. But um, so Nathaniel Phillips, do you know who that is?
Yes,
Uh,
he's the center back.
right, right. All right. So watching him in preseason, every time he came in, he looks really promising, really good, really composed on the ball. And I think that Klopp is doing exactly what he should with the defense, which is building really at every position, but building from within, training young players instead of going and buying them.
I'd send him out on loan. The team where he can get, where he can play. He's not going to play here.
No, no, I agree, but just based
Loan him
on what
out.
I've
We have like
seen,
six center backs. There's no point. I mean, maybe keep him. I don't know because you'd have Matip, Lovren, and Gomez on the bench if things were to start today.
no, no,
Well, not
I'm not
Matip. He's
talking
hurt.
about, well, yeah, Matt, I'm not talking about playing him. I'm just saying, looking at him as a player right now,
Yeah, he's solid. Really
he's
solid.
very solid, very solid. And that boy Curtis Jones too is pretty solid. But so, um, did you listen to the podcast I made yesterday?
No, I did not.
All right. So basically, when I went up, I think I told you about this, but I basically when I went up to uh the United game versus Liverpool, um, not only did I meet Klopp, which was lit, but we sat in the United section, and I was getting heckled the whole fucking game by these United fans, dog. Literally the most annoying thing that I've ever experienced in my life. Like I spent $100. I'm trying to watch the game, and I'm just getting heckled by drunk Manchester people.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Fucking, it was horrible. It was horrible. But as I'm leaving, so I guess they don't have fluoride in their water over there, right? So I literally, as I'm leaving the stadium, I overhear one talking about like how Liverpool fans are just a bunch of cunts, right? And and I was like, yeah, yeah, we're pretty shitty. And then he was like, yeah, you are. You're all a bunch of lazy cunts or some shit. And literally, his teeth were the most fucked up teeth I've ever seen in my entire life. So I turned to him and I was like, hey, nice teeth, by the way. And I kept walking. And he just looked at me like, no idea what to say.
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking I don't know, dude. It's a different world over there. I mean, they just tear you apart.
yeah. They don't have anything else going.
No,
So,
no, not really. Nothing really exciting.
especially Manchester United fans right now, they're literally clinging on to anything they can find because they're on a, oh my god, they're not looking good at all.
No.
One question for you before we wrap it up: do you think Curtis Jones will play this year, or what do you think is going to happen with him?
I definitely think Curtis Jones will play this year. Um, in I just don't see Klopp loaning out the two players who did excellent this preseason, and that's Curtis Jones and Nathaniel Phillips. Everyone else he's going to try to get loaned out. Ojo, fucking I can't even name other players right now. Camacho,
Markovic,
Markovic, what a scrub.
Chiravella.
Chiravella, yeah, Chiravella. He's trying to sell Chiravella. I mean,
Yeah,
he will keep the players around camp that he wants to develop and get better, right? And I think Curtis Jones is one of those guys. Because remember, Curtis Jones is only 17. It's not like he's Shea Ojo and he's 20 or 21, where you have to send these players out on loan. He's 17 years old.
I wasn't impressed with Ben Woodburn either. As a side note, this
No, no,
preseason,
no. I
and
was
he's
expecting
not
more.
young. He's like 23
Woodburn
or
is?
20. Yeah, he's like 22, isn't he?
I don't know. I have to double check. I'm not gonna say it wrong, but damn, I didn't expect that.
Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to
Oh,
look.
maybe I'm wrong because he was like the youngest Wales player to score a goal or something.
I'm telling. He's
Maybe
probably
he's like only
19. I
19.
swear he's
Yeah, okay.
19. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's up with Harry Wilson?
Yeah,
Where'd he go?
he's amazing. Yeah, I mean he did
Bristol
great.
City?
Yeah,
Did he go to
no
Bristol
no
City?
no Derby County, Derby County.
Oh, okay.
Him and
Yeah.
what's his Frank Lampard? Is that the manager that went to Derby
Yeah.
County? Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think that was a good move for him because that's